Why, hello everybody. We are now finally recording. I'm trying a different location in the bunkhouse, basically 2 feet over. I'm thinking this is going to have better light for me. I can move the camera as needed. Also, I turned off the voice mod. Hopefully that makes it a little more bearable. But the problem is we're using ASMR mics, so it's picking up my AC. Actually, let me turn my AC to fan. That should be a little less noisy in here, hopefully. The problem is I have a 3D printer going, my AC going, and then, yeah, I'm using an ASMR mic. But today we are doing this dude. This glorious dude. Let's get a little different angle here. This is the Fallen King from the set we were doing prior. He is the big model. Most of the Artisan Guild models come with a big model. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself too. I am Linnequin, and this is Dwarf Month. Sorry, I had an internalized debate if it was useful using what me's are fronting while I'm doing these. I decided, yeah, I kind of still want to keep that up. Because I am switching the avatars to the ones that fit too. And hopefully my avatar is actually reacting right. So what I want to start with right away was the skin. Let's do the Caribbean Ocean. But yeah, we're going to just dig right into this. This is a model I've been dying to paint. I notice I have not done any of my Doomlocks. I've only done the Draugr. But you know what? I kind of like that. Now, he's got big, broad areas. You know, he's a giant model. And most of these sets come with a giant model. But I liked how the blue turned out last time. But I am noticing some of this is hard to do with the theme. And we're finding our stride, too, by the way. Like, we're still trying to find our stride. Find what works best for us. Camera and lights and sound, because like I'll be honest, I haven't been super happy with the sound yet, but this is not one of my favorite ways to do sound, but I think it'll be more bearable for you guys. I just don't like the sound of my own voice. I mean, I'm trans, of course I don't like the sound of my own natural voice, and I don't pop my voice up for reasons that we could talk about a different day on the Remy and Friends channel. That's not something for the gaming channel. Or the tabletop gaming channel. But yeah, I wanted to stick to the blue. Actually, this is why I decided on the blue. Was this model specifically. We're using the Speed Paint Caribbean Blue to start off with. I do like this stuff. I thought it looked really cool for the Draugr skin. And I won't lie, I kind of liked it because it makes me think of of Smurfs. Because I think it is very similar to Smurf Blue when you really think about it. And what are Smurfs if not weird blue dwarfs? I don't know. They're more gnomes, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I was excited about him because he's got these nice, big, broad areas where it will just take a little bit of paint. And like, you know, he's got the gold veins on the back. And like, I debated long and hard if I should paint the gold veins or prime the gold veins or just keep them the red, right? Because they have them this cool gold, or these giant crystals on his back. This cool gold in the official artwork. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I'm like, or the official paint job, I should say. It's like, do I paint them? Do I paint them? They look so cool unpainted. Or they look so cool painted. And I decided to, in the long run, that I like the gold more than I liked it going to be that red crystal that I'm doing for the mines. But I had areas where I was keeping the red crystal. So like, you know, you see the pickaxe, for instance. This is going to be the first time I'm going to try to do something with the red areas outside of just like, you know, keeping them red. Because I think the last time we did something with the red, it was just, oh, we haven't done one with the red yet. So this was an effect I wanted to try. So basically, the reason I went with the red ABS, because it's like, oh, I could do these cool, like, blood red, like, ruby crystals. And make it look fantastic. But like I didn't get to do it because all the models that I've painted so far don't have the red exposed. And I was kind of leaving that for a surprise. So you can see I did for the lava. Now my idea was I was going to take like a tinted paint over it, unprimed, like a sepia wash or something to make it look more like lava. Or like even like a color shift or something. Just something that would blend in with it without like changing the property of the color that much. And that's what I'm going to do. Now you'll notice I don't do like directional lighting or non-metallic metallics. It's just not something I don't feel I'm skilled enough for yet. Maybe one day we'll have a video where I try it. But also something I like the models having the kind of details that I've been doing. Because I mainly do them for play. Like, yeah, I display them at home, but I don't do anything purely for display. And I don't do anything just purely, artistically. It's mostly for play. But I just want my army to at least look decent at distance. Because remember, I don't know if I said this in the other video, but you're going to have the model, face to there, about this far away from you. That's all that matters on that. Now, if you're displaying, people are taking closer looks. That's a whole different thing. But I'm not going to say I'm the best artist. I'm working on improving, and that's what the series is about. That, and it's going to get me to paint all my dwarfs and other stuff. And we might be doing other stuff. We're going to be doing some stuff on the Patreon, too. And, for those of you who want non-dwarf stuff and non-halfling, we'll be doing some halfling stuff soon. But I got some stuff that's going to be Patreon exclusive and some stuff that's going to be Patreon early. So, just a heads up. But all that businessy talk aside, that's just all his beard. I painted his beard blue. That is fine, because we will paint over it anyways. So the primer I always use, because primer's expensive, I can't buy more than one right now. I do the bone, or the Army Painter bone primer. I like it. I moved away from black because black's kind of a crutch. And plus also, if I want to do something like this, like you look at this, this shows you that speed paint. Speed paint actually is really cool. This video is not going to be as long as some of the others, just because of speed paint. And like how much broader these details are, I'm not going to have to like do big segments in between. We just got half the model painted, or a third of the model painted, with one color, and it did all the work for us. It's cheating? Nah. But as I said, any tool you use, any tool that you have at your availability, it's a legitimate tool, If you guys can see the gnats, they've been annoying the heck out of me all day. Just like zip, zip, zip. I have a citrine candle. Like I'm completely exposed to the outside here. If the door's open, I have the door open for fresh air. Because I was priming earlier. I primed about 40, 50 figures. Or miniatures. Why did I call them figures? I don't know. But like I primed about 40 or 50 miniatures that I printed off. It might have been closer to 30, but it was a large number. I actually need this paint. I might need to get more of this stuff. This is probably my favorite brown. So it's like, I run out of it all the time. So it feels like... That's the one thing I don't like about these bottles, is I can never tell when they're empty. Alright, but anyways, yeah, so, what was I saying? I don't know, we're doing the spine next. But yeah, so I just got done priming a bunch. Oh shoot, I missed a spot. You? Were you the one I just used? I know there's a few spots I missed right here. So before I got too far in, I want to take care of him. There we go. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm going to just do it. Something I feel is taboo. This is a pet peeve of mine, leaving them in there, but I have to with that one. But yeah, I just primed a bunch of models. Like, so the bunkhouse is kind of smelly from the primer. I shouldn't say smelly. What's the word I'm looking for? It smells of the paint. Alright. That should be good for the spine. Or the first layer on the spine. Let's actually get some of his cloak done too. So this is a section I'm really happy to do. Because my wife loves when I do fur. And to me, this section has just enough fur on it. Or the kind of fur I like to do. This guy is cool, though. Like, seriously, this set, and it's up on my mini factory. And I have to say, I am not sponsored. They don't even know I exist, probably. Except for as a customer. But, this set here, that this guy's from, the Curse of Goldvein, is phenomenal. It's a fully necromancer dwarf set. Can be used for anything you want, but they do have a game out now. And so, I don't know the balancing of the game yet. I haven't gotten to play rounds yet. But it looks like these guys are going to be like my main force. I'm going to be playing a corruption force. Definitely. If not my main force, it's going to be one of my main forces. It's going to be corruption. So, like, and the Dwarf Dragar are in corruption. I also have Orc Death Knights for that. So that's where I'm like, oh, man. That's actually printing off the skeleton base for one of the models. Basically, at the start of the game, some of the skeletons. We'll be painting his skeletons eventually on stream. Video, pardon me. But yeah, so this guy, though, unfortunately, if I'm understanding the app right, I can't take him. I don't know if this is just the app or if this is actually like a rule. I can't seem to take him as my leader. Which kind of sucks, because it's like, oh, he's the leader of like the Dragar. He is their fallen king. Or of the Dwarf Dragar. But eventually, once I get the 3... See, I'm starting to question it, though, because, like... Sorry. Words going everywhere. I'm starting to question it, though, because it seems like the app also will let me take a mount as a leader, and I know you can't do that for reasons. Because I could find the rule for that. But for some reason, I couldn't find the rule that says you can't take a 3 heroism leader. Which seems to be the only models they're not allowing you to take as leaders. So I don't know if that's that is a rule, or if it's just something I'm missing, or if anyone knows, let me know. Because there are leaders I would take at 3 if I could. Hell, I'd take him at 3 if I could. But right now the app's kind of keen, so because that's where the most of the cards are in the app. But like, I would straight up take him as my leader if I could. Him and I know you have to have half your points in non-hero models, so like, if I take him, I think he's like 38 points or something. I could be wrong. He could be like 40 points. I'd have to check. I'd have to take an equal amount, at least, of non-hero models. So like foot soldiers and stuff. But, you know, it's worth it. Just take him and a bunch of Dragar, or like the Dwarf Dragar. And it would be a cool, like, little thematic force. You got a nice big dude on the field to be like, rawr. But right now, what I'm thinking of doing is one of the, or at least for my corruption, one of the dwarf or the orc Death Knight leaders, like the one that summons the skeletons, because he adds skeletons to your list, and then some Dragar, or the dwarf Dragar. Sorry, I keep on correcting myself because there is regular Dragar, or Dragar. Why did I say Dragar? Draugr. There's normal Draugrs available too. So that's why I keep on saying the difference. And they are very different units. Which I thought was fun. Because basically what the game is, they took all, or almost all the models, like 650 models I think it was, from the models that they've put together, and said, here, this is how you use these in our game. Stuck in our universe. And like, gave some lore for the current universe, like where it's at. Yeah. Try not to get too sloppy with my red or my reddish brown. Alright, that should be good for now. There's still a few places where I can't see though, where the blue is like pulled off. There we go. So far, this is what we have. Yeah, it's a big chonker. I like the idea of the blue skin for the Draugr though, because you know Draugrs are frozen or drowned undead, or at least how we view Draugr now. In general. So I'm doing one last thin coat on this. I think I'm going to start on the gold. This guy's going a lot quicker than I thought he would. Like, honestly, I thought this guy was going to be a lot longer to paint. Because, like, the three heroes... Oh, wait, no. I should do spinal color 2 now. So let's do a yellowish spinal color. Yeah, Dead Flesh works great. I'm going to do this for his beard, too. To start off the beard. There we go. That should be enough. But yeah, we'll dry brush this into his beard and his dry brush as I thin it down. No. We're going to put brush this into his beard on spine. I think we showed how to do the bone stuff in the other one. Or at least I did a little bit. From the pictures, it looks like I did it. It wasn't me present for those. Or for that. But I wanted to give his beard a little basis. Since the whole theme is like, oh, they're cursed by, or they're brought back by greed and gold, or the greed of gold and vengeance against the frost, or the frost-heart lizardmen. So they're actually like going to attack the lizardmen. Or that was the original lore. I don't know what it is in the story now, because the story's moved on from that point. Now, there isn't a... You see here, I miss this pot with the primer. So I'm trying to... I can't get... Under the beard... Under the beard is a big spot of red that I didn't get with the primer, but you know what? Forget. Remember the whole thing. If the light doesn't touch it, no one will see it. So you only need a little bit of the undersection. Now let's get this spine started. Yeah, there we go. And then I want to use the yellow for the belt. If it goes on to the coins, it doesn't matter because we'll be doing the coins in gold anyways. Same with the belt buckle, so there he is so far. And his spine. So far. You can see we're starting to get the colors we want in the spine. You know, oops, I missed a spot right here. That's okay if we get a little too bright there. Also, I want to get his fingernails, but we're going to go a little different on the fingernails and the bones. He's got these nice, gorgeous claws, right? So I'm going to get the yellow on the claws, or on his fingernails. And then what's going to happen is when we do a darker color, I want to like get the fingers having a black tint going throughout. So like when we ink wash. I'm going to spend some extra time ink washing the fingers. You know what? I have to grab a little bit of that red. Yeah, this should work. Found area for the red that I forgot. Get that off a little bit. There we go. There he is so far. He's a big boy. I like him. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to detail this. We'll see when we get there. I might just end up brushing on some of the color change that barely works. Or it might just be we use the oil, you know. So we'll worry about that when we get there. So next, it is time for the gold. Oh, I gotta get a drink of my drink. I have ignore me. I have a giant jug of juice I'm drinking from right now. It's sugar free, but I have to finish. It's been in the fridge for a while, so I have to finish it. But so I've been drinking all day. All right, go. Goo, 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 goo. So this is the part that I'm most excited for. We're going to go back to this brush because we're doing very broad areas. I always get this gold tooth in, I feel. I'm still learning the consistencies for the Vallejo metallics because I'm so used to Games Workshop metallics, right? I'll be honest, though, the Vallejo ones look so good. They're just not what I'm used to. What I mean by that is I'm not getting as thick of a layer as I like. Like, it comes out as very watery when I'm doing it. I know that's on me. But I'm going to use that to my advantage, I think, on that handle. Now, one of the cool things I couldn't wait for this model, or to paint this model with, was he's got these giant chunks of metallic sections coming out of his body, and just looks so cool in the pictures. When it was gold, I was like, I gotta do gold. Like, originally I was going to have him be this big red spikes coming out, and because I had just joined the my mini factory Artisan Guild tribe when this one came out. Because because I like Artisan Guild, but I just had gotten my 3D printer or my resin printer. I'm like, oh man, I should join this because I like their models. And then I saw it was Undead Dwarfs. I'm like, yeah, I'm joining this. This is like my army. Like, this is my aesthetic, you know. I'm sure I can find uses for the models outside of just painting them. And I am. And this is before I knew that they had a game coming out, too. Oh, God. That looks so cool. Look at that. This is before I knew they had a game coming out, too. And, like, I'm like, oh, man. So when the game came out, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm painting these guys. It's actually why we're painting them first as the game. Because I probably will end up playing these guys as my first army for guilds. Speaking of games, my game, Rust Belt, we'll be doing some content for soon. I gotta get down or sit down and like work on some stuff, figure out some scripts for like lore videos, as well as, you know, how I want to do tabletop war game videos or skirmish game videos. But I'm excited. Rust Belt should be out next month sometime. We're doing this whole thing where we're not going to say an exact date yet, because just in case something goes wrong, I'm not like, oh, we're postponing. It's going to be out when it's out. And my artist gets just the last few things to do. Or he might have just shown me the last thing being done. I don't know. I don't know how much he's got planned. He's got more planned than I thought he did, which was cool. He is an awesome artist and an awesome game dev himself, though more of the digital space for his games. But yeah, so Rust Belt will be out soon. And when that comes out, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because, like, I'm excited. I'm hyped. But it's got me looking at my other games and then, like, printing these off. Like, the Dwarf Depths. These guys, I'll be able to use in Dwarf Depths, which is a mind-based game set in the universe. It's hard to explain the universe without going into big detail. There will be lore videos, I promise. The lore videos will make a lot of sense. More so than me just being like, oh, the Dwarf Depths or the Ghost Woods or whatnot. You know, because there's areas that will have their own games that can be used with the other games. They're just like locations that like pop up around the world. Or like groups of other people where it's like they would have a different applied rule set than, you know, the post-apocalyptic survivors. And that's on purpose. That's very much on purpose. That's going to be too thick of a brush. I'm sitting here like about to make the biggest mistake. But that's going to be on purpose. Because it's like, oh, hey. You know. The Dwarf Depths are... One of the folds is called the Dwarf Depths, right? The folds are basically folded space. And we were tapping into the energy from the folded space as a power source, not realizing what we were doing there. But then one day they go up, like they implode, explode, whatever. Like there's a safety incident that basically leads to a mass life loss incident, and instead of halting research there or halting production there, they double down, and all of a sudden you have the corporations treating human life next to nothing. But like the Dwarf Depths was one of the places we were pulling energy from, or one of the five folds. Think of it as the realm of the dwarfs, basically. But yeah, I had started a game for it. I gave up on the game at one point because, like, the required materials for the game just seemed impossible to get, right? And now that I'm 3D printing, I'm like, no, these are easy. Just gotta buy the right STLs. It's like, oh, this makes more sense now. Because very much I've made the game for like 3D printing. Like I have made the games to be 3D print friendly. One day I'll have my own STLs to release for it, but yeah. I got learn the process of making the STLs. I got learn sculpting, but like Blender or whatever. This dude is cool so far. Look at him. He's just turning out well. Just based on like sheer size. And we're going to dinge up all that, but like not by much. I love that he's just got like this gold armor or a gold crown and like the gold crags coming out of his or his back, and he is cool. Yeah, I know I'm paying more like fool's gold, but still. Hoping when I put the layer of known oil on, that'll help. God, I love this model. But yeah, so like printing off these models have got me very inspired to get back into designing that game. You know, because now it's like, oh, the expedition system is very doable when you take in 3D printing. Because that was the problems. I hadn't taken in the concept of 3D printing for the there we go. That was bothering me. I hadn't taken in the concept of 3D printing for the overall product. You know, because at the time when I started working on Dwarf in Depths, the 3D printing wasn't as available. And I didn't have a way to test it because, like, you know, I didn't have a resin printer, so printing off like a bunch of like underground terrain was going to be impossible. But just kind of needed for Dwarf in Depths. But like one of the mechanics was going to be, oh hey, you're going through into these areas and you're excavating ruins and you're excavating the mines and stuff. Like you are a dwarven miner, and like dwarves have a whole different term in my universe. They're not just, you know, the dwarves, but they're like the dwarves, the gnomes, the ogres, the goblins are all dwarven. So like, you know, dwarven lineages. So like, this isn't going to work. This is just me touching up something. So ignore that. So like, the idea will be like, oh, that did work. I didn't think it would. The idea would be like, oh, hey, so you got this knight who's got some miners and some some workers and miners with them, or like some warriors and some miners with them, right? You have a courtier, which I have a list of courtiers, or two courtiers. Was it 4 miners, 3 warriors, and your knight? And the idea is you're going in, checking out these like lost caves and stuff, and you're like mining these caves, fighting off monsters, and like trying to get resources for whatever element you choose. So far, he is turning out nice. Oh, I forgot a little gold. I almost forgot his beard gold, which is going to make this hard later on. Let's get a better brush. That brush is so destroyed because of me. At least I admit it's me that's destroying the brush, not like, oh, these are cheap ass brushes. Pardon my language. But no, it's me that damages. I might keep the beard this color actually. Cool. Did I miss any gold? No, I think that's it. Okay. So now we're down to... This guy's quick. Oh, I did miss a beard. Did I miss any gold? No. Most blatant piece of gold I missed. Okay, I got to. This giant blatant piece of gold. Let's see if I can grab a bit. There we go. I don't know if I just did that off camera. I'm sorry for that. So this is him so far. He's turning out nice. Like, he is chunky. We got another chunky, like another Utin to do. Like, the Doomlocks have their own the Doomlocks have their own Utin that came with it, and she's pretty big and chunky too. But I want to get him done first. We might do that next video. I was going to do more terrain, but we might do my Doomlock Utin. It's fine. That's what's next. And our clothes. So Fane White. Fane White's my favorite whitish, grayish color. I use this for pelts, and I will use this for bone all the time. And I put way too much on my palette. You guys saw that. That is a lot I put on there. So let's get this started. A little bit of water. Ignore the fact that I just put it on top of the brown. Guys, maybe I was too tired for this today. I almost didn't do this today because I was really tired. I'm like, oh no, I really want to get it done. I want to get it started. I just made a huge mistake. Luckily, it's a savable one, but... Oops. Come on, don't come off dirty. My wife loves it when I do this. Like, this specific style. Like, she's seen other models I've had where I've done this specific color combo. And, like, this specific technique on fur. And she just loves it. I think this fur had a little less detail than is favorable for me. But, like, yeah, she just loves it. How it turns out. I kind of do, too. But this one came out a little dirty. But you can see, we'll use the known oil to kind of, like, clean that out. Yes, I use known oil on everything. But you know what? Why not use a tool you have? It's like, seriously, I don't get the people who are like, don't use known oil. Like, I get if you think it doesn't look good, but if you're saying don't use known oil because it's quote-unquote cheating, why? What's wrong with a little cheating, you know? I'm glad I did that. I'm really glad I did that. I mean, yeah, if you want to prove that you can do it without it, that's fine. But just don't diss other people for using it. Because let's be honest, like... It helps. And, like, it reminds me of the old ink washes back in the day. It's just more reliable. Luckily, no one will see that side of it. Oh, God, man. Look at him so far. He is awesome. I love this model. I really do. I know, like, for the most part, I'm the only one bringing it up right now because, you know. But... I'm just getting ahead of it if anyone comes in and be like, oh, no oil. Again, I don't know if people actually complain about it anymore. Because I don't interact with the paint community as much as I used to. But man, back in the day, man, you get like half the people like, don't use no oil. And the other half people, why didn't you use no oil? It's like, I've done both. We had videos that never got put up because of issues with how I saved them. They were on my phone. I did a no oil challenge where I did the whole model, everything on it with no oil, 5 colors, and I had to simulate that kind of stuff. And I have other techniques I did, for other things that actually turned out great. That I gotta figure out how I did them, because I don't think it was me who did them. But I love how they look on my shelf. I'm like, I want to do that again. I want to make a zombie who's got that like weird greenish skin that just looks amazing, or has that like the pastel goblins I have, or whatnot. Like I love how they turned out. And, like, I'm trying to move away from like just straight up like washed out colors and like low contrasted colors and stuff, and trying to get more bright and colorful models. Because for the longest time, and there's nothing wrong with this, longest time it was hard for me to get away from painting like in like a Bunchesu style, where it's like, I'm using these washed out colors, dull colors to kind of capture the idea of grimdark and stuff. And as I grow older, I'm growing further and further away from grimdark. I'm liking my high fantasy and my folk fantasy, and a little bit of Arthurian fantasy, but only a little bit. Like I'm moving more towards that as I grow older and learn more about myself and whatnot. And like, I think that's important for me. So I've been exploring other colors and other techniques and other, but I still have to make things look like they belong together, So I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. Because I didn't prime this, so it's probably not a good idea. But I want to try. Definitely getting out of the gold, though. I think this is my favorite model we've done so far. I wish you guys could see it a little better on here. That's my fault. I'm still learning the camera placement and stuff, so bear with me. I'm still learning the sound stuff, like with the system I have. So that's been a big issue because this is a new system we're doing. My friend got me the camera, and another friend got me the microphones and stuff. And I'm not used to this kind of camera and microphone. So I'm having these issues like figuring it out, getting it balanced and stuff. But, kind of what Dwarf Month is for is me just getting back into the swing of things for doing videos. Because, we used to make videos on here a long time ago. I don't even know what I used to record on back then. I think it was just my camera. Even like the Lego Lynn videos on the Remy and Friends were all just, or my phone I meant, not camera, my phone. Those were all phone too. But, so those had this issue with transferring over to the computer. Because new phones don't really transfer well. So I was like, oh, you know what? My friend got me a camcorder, and then another friend got me these ASMR mics. And I was like, oh, I want to do videos through like using OBS, or Streamlabs. I'm using my Streamlabs. I have it sat to record and set up like this, and I'm figuring it out. And I'm someone who likes to do my growing pains on camera. Like, I like my growing pains to be there, present, visible. Because you know why? Because others can learn from my mistakes, Why not? And if people stick around and watch as I improve, they might be pleasantly surprised in the future. But that's kind of my goal. Oh, I got this a little too thin. All right, come on. Yeah, this is turning out right. Cool. We need a little more known oil. But yeah, that's been kind of my plan all along. It's just like learn as I do this, you know? It's just like painting. You know, I want to get to a baseline level where not just, or all of the me's not just are painting okay, but are painting at the same level, you know? So there's consistency between me as a system, or at least those parts of the system who like this hobby. I guess most of it does. Most of them do. It's just they got models they're waiting for because they like other things more, you know? Alright, he's actually turning out really cool. Alright, now his beard. His glorious beard. And his crown. And also these rocks right here. I'm going to add a little extra detail to his face. The one problem I don't like about known oil is it does get kind of a glossy film, even though I'm not using the glossy. I think it's just because I use too much. I'll admit it. There we go. This guy is cool. I gotta take a little bit off his face. There's the brush I want to use. Ah! It just rolled through all the paint. All the paint, all the paint, all the paint. I just don't want his face to get too glossy. There we go. Oops. I was trying to wipe off some of the... There we go. Ooh, that was almost bad. There we go. So far, so good. You can look at the spine now. Oh my goodness, I love how the spine turned out. Like, he's going to be a model I'll have a lot of fun with on the tabletop. I know I could put a little extra detail in the oh, I forgot the rest of the base. I could put a little more detail in on the pickaxe, but I'm going to... I got a few more things I have to do before we finish it. But yeah. Oh, what was the base color? Oh, I did gray. Alright, it was teal gray. I hope it was teal gray. If it's not, oh well. Oh, for my base ring, basically. There we go. Like, seriously, he looks cool. I didn't go in and do the tattoos. Like, there's tattoos here. I don't have steady enough hands for that. But now, add a little more detail to finish it. Alright. Move him over here for now. And we got to look for the details. It's not the red ring. Which colors? Oh boy. It's these ones. That's Darth Blue. That's not what we're looking for. Well, Darth Blue for the top, maybe. I don't know. Blue interface, definitely not that. Purple interface. Ooh, we could do that for the weapon, I think, maybe. And then... There we go. Solar anomaly. That's what I was actually looking for. So solar anomaly we're going to do for the lava. We might do it on his pickaxe, but... There we go. on. There's definitely paint in there. Alright, I know people love their eyedropper paint things, but I don't. They clog up so much on me. Like, if you like eyedropper paint bottles, that's fine. I'm not going to judge you. It's just for me, I'm not a big fan of them. I mean, I have no room to judge because so my thought is, so not getting much detail on the lava, but, or the magma, sorry, it's underground, be magma, I think. Yeah. But, one is covering up some of the issue spots, but two, it's going to give that sheen. Oh, I forgot a spot. I forgot a spot when I was doing this. There we go. There we go. So it's not picking up, or it is working here. It's not picking up on the camera much. I guess it is a little bit. But you can see it's a pink to yellow. Or shine on top of the red. I think I'm going to use the same one up here. Oh, that's doing what I wanted to do down there. Okay. Or what I wanted the known oil to do. Got it. It's highlighting. You can see it right here. Oh, maybe you can't. Here you can see it lightened up the patterns on the thing. It's just the camera's not picking that up. Unlike my brush just did to this darn fly. Seriously, I have a citron candle going. It's just, it's dark out. I have lights on in here, and the door open. So every freaking fly is coming in thinking that this is Prime Day to say hi. How are you? This is why I don't keep food out here. Unless if I'm doing a cooking video. Then it's only out here as long as I'm doing the video. We have a couple cooking videos I have to edit. You got like 3 or 4. I have to edit them. I haven't edited them yet. One of them's over like a year old. Or 2 of them are. Sorry if this is being stressful right now. There we go. We ringed our base. So, he is done. He turned out fun. He's got almost a storybook feel to him, in my opinion. If you look at him. Like, you can tell he's related to the dwarves. You can tell. Let's see if I can get this. There we go. And then go to his back. Yeah, I like how he turned out. I hope you guys did too. That's the Fallen King from the Artisan Guild Curse of Goldvein set. Highly suggest it. Highly suggest check out. They're on my mini factory. They have their own website. They are not a sponsor of mine, but if you like their stuff, I'm just going to say go check it out. They are awesome. I've been enjoying this set. We also have Pig Orcs we're going to be doing here soon, if not this month, next month. As well as like what's they call Doomlock Dwarfs, which is their fire dwarfs. But yeah, highly suggest checking them out. One of my favorite model companies. They make these gorgeous figure or models. It was printed on a Mars 4 or an Elegoo Mars 4. The resin is the Elegoo ABS like water washable translucent red. Settings for the resin on these was 64. It was 64 seconds for the first 2 layers, or for the base layers. I have 2 base layers, and then 4.5 seconds per, or 4.6 seconds per every other layer. And it's been working okay. I say as I look over at my printer because I've been having some issues, but I think that was something else. The printer's pretty decent. I would say check it out. This stuff comes out looking good though, like with this resin. Now, am I going to say, hey, this is what you should get? No, I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking at eventually getting a bigger, because how much printing I do, I kind of need a bigger 3D printer than the Mars 4. I do more than a light load. I'm printing way more than what's considered casual. So, I need to get myself either like a Elegoo Jupiter 4 Pro, or Ultra, I mean, or the Creality HS. Which, honestly, the Creality, I've had a Creality ABS printer for, well, since 2000. So, like, I'm a big Creality fan anyways. The Elegoo was just, well, just the heaviest for, doing miniatures, for resin, because I didn't know resin at the time. Now that I've learned more, it's like, But I'm someone who would probably run multiple printers if I had them. But I'm going to let it go there. I chatted your all's ears off enough. We're about the hour mark. But yeah, Curse King is done. I can't wait to actually put him on the table. Y'all have a good one. I love y'all. See y'all next time. Bye. Once I can move.